Hey ladies, what's up? It's your girl, Tiana Divinergy, and I wanted to take a second to be fully transparent and vulnerable with you guys about this journey that I am going through with stepping more into my divine feminine essence and energy. And instead of being that person that I don't know, disappears off the face of the planet for a few years and then pops up like, oh my God, I've leveled up and let me tell you how you can do it too. I wanted to take more of a realistic approach and actually kind of go through this journey of going from somebody as a woman that operated very heavily, extremely heavily from my masculine energy the majority of my life. I'm 32. In a couple of weeks, I'll be 33. So shout out to all my Leos out there. Gang, gang. Sorry, y'all, I'm a work in progress. But as a woman that didn't have those role models, didn't grow up in that family showing strong divine feminine energy and essence and how beautiful that can marry with the divine masculine, I am embarking on this journey to step deeper into that part of myself, and I want to share tips and share the journey with those of you that are also going through this transformation into the true, authentic version of who you've always been created to be, right? So I wanted to share kind of some of the things that I've been doing in order to help me with shifting more into my feminine energy. So the first thing is, which really probably sounds very cliche-ish and very superficial, but it is actually getting more into makeup and dressing more feminine and really embracing the beauty and wonder and fun that is supposed to be a part of the divine feminine experience, right? I think that for me, the process of stepping into playing with makeup and getting more comfortable with doing your makeup, if you're a woman that has more of an athletic background, or more of a tomboyish background. And it honestly doesn't even have to be that, because I know some athletic women like Flojo, honey, she was coming to, slay in a full face beat and 20-inch nails, okay? So I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with that aspect of being an athlete or being more in your masculine energy when you're young. I really think that it really just has more to do with the things that you gravitated towards. I just wasn't, and I didn't have that example of a mom that would sit down with me and teach me about makeup and how to put it on. I was always the child that would go in my mom's room and I would look through her jewelry and want to try it on and want to play in her heels. And when she would see me, instead of embracing that and being oh honey, try these heels on, or put this ring on, or do you like this type of necklace? It was always, what are you doing in my stuff? Get out. So I think that when you as a woman have been conditioned that's not your place, stay away from that stuff, that trying to step into that realm and into where should be kind of your comfort zone and your world can be very intimidating. So for those of you that are on this journey like me, give yourself, and this is another thing that I'm doing, give yourself grace and compassion and understanding for the fact that nobody taught you these things. If anything, you're unlearning all of the things that you were taught about femininity that actually are more in alignment with the wounded feminine energy side. So don't beat yourself up about the fact that you have no idea what's the difference between contouring and sculpting or bronzer and contour or whatever. I'm learning all these things. I love that YouTube is here, but it is very overwhelming and it is very intimidating. And even now, I'm afraid that I look crazy. I tried for you guys to put on makeup and I'm still trying to figure out how to make it not look cakey, or how to like enjoy the lightness that like people seem to like with the highlighting their face, and like what difference it makes, and like trying to like get into being comfortable with that and actually like liking that is a process, and I'm in the beginning stages of that. So if you're also like somebody that like isn't very familiar with makeup, you've always like hated it, been intimidated or overwhelmed by it, sis, I'm right there with, listen, okay? But I'm doing my best to like give myself that grace and that compassion to understand that like I'm going to get better, it's gonna feel better, and I'll find what works for me. Like maybe I'm one of those like natural glam girls that like maybe the skincare routine is more important to me, and like as long as I look like I have a fresh face and I have that dewy skin, then maybe I'll just whip up my eyebrows a little bit, throw on some gloss and mascara, and go on my way. You know what I mean? Which I actually did not put on mascara. Kind of want to almost stop this video. Like there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, I'm supposed to have on mascara. You see what I mean? It's little things like that to where you're like, shit, I'm not being this, that's, how could I forget that? I'm a woman, what? You know, it's so interesting to be like having these juxtapositional thoughts that are almost like competing with each other. And again, the idea behind doing these things isn't because only women that wear makeup are feminine. It's really just about wearing makeup, putting on perfume, putting on soft, delicate, feminine clothes, really just starts to help you with encapsulating and embodying the divine feminine essence and getting more comfortable in it. So I think it has more so to do with like figuring out your level of comfort within femininity, as opposed to you need to go out and be the chick that has a beat face. I'm not that girl. I don't think I'll ever be that girl. And that's okay. I'm figuring out what part of the femininity spectrum I'm on. And you probably are too, sis. So I see you. We here, okay? Another thing that I am doing to increase my feminine energy, which actually, interestingly enough, this comes very naturally to me, is dancing, taking more classes that are more sensual, like heel and pole. Getting into your body really will help you with awakening and tapping. I cannot talk today. But tapping into your sacral chakra, which is the creative center. This is your center, energy center that you experience sexual pleasure and intimacy, sensuality, sexuality. And so moving energy around is very good for your lower chakras. So for your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus, those are the chakras that are closer to the ground. So they are much more in alignment with more of that primal animalistic energy. And so if you get into moving more sensual and flowing and really figuring out like what feels good to me as far as how I move my body, how I touch myself, doing it delicately, these are things that will start to awaken that feminine essence within you, and it will affect the way that you glide through the world. It's funny, when I was a track athlete, that was my nickname as a hurdler, was the gazelle, because people always said I was very graceful over the hurdles. And even as a dancer now, even though I feel like I look crazy because like I'm always injured, so I'm never really able to like, sorry y'all, I'm never really able to really hit the movements the way that I want to, or flow into something the way I want. But women tell me all the time, like, I love watching you dance, like you're so graceful and flowy, and like it's just a beautiful like like there's some sort of chemistry that you have when you're dancing and moving and flowing with the music. And that, I'm very flattered by that, because I always feel like I have these very disjointed movements and whatnot. So it's really nice to hear from other women, yeah sis, I see you in your feminine energy and you're giving, okay? You're giving. I love getting that energy. So ladies, if I've been in class with you and you've ever said that to me, thank you. Because it means a lot to me. And even just like getting emotional about it, you know, like when you are not used to being in your feminine energy and you're not used to having people acknowledge you for the way that you display your femininity and your feminine essence. Like, ladies, complimenting other women that are trying goes so far. Like, it really helps us with like wanting to step deeper into our divine femininity. So again, if any woman has ever big up to me in class, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you so much. You have no idea what you're doing for my confidence as a feminine woman, or stepping deeper into my femininity. So thank you. Another thing that I am doing to increase my feminine energy is to honestly like be myself, but be a softer version of that. Like, not letting things bother me as much, like not letting things get me to the point of where like I'm cursing and I'm angry and I'm like hyping into that, you know, masculine energy, that aggression. Because I feel like, and I have seen examples of women that are very feminine and very strong, but it's that soft strength, you know, it's that you can still be like a badass woman, but do it from the feminine perspective. Like, you know, strength and femininity is about knowing how to be a seductress and how to magnetize the things that you want to you and sit back and really receive. And that is something that I'm actively working on, is being comfortable in gentleness. Like, even with my job, the fact that like I'm literally able to sit here right now and do a YouTube video for you guys and I'm getting paid to do that. And in my masculine mind, I'm like, oh my God, I should have more responsibility. Like, I don't feel right about like clocking in 40 hours and only doing a few interviews a week. I'm a hiring manager for a logistics company, by the way. So it's learning that like Spirit is giving me this time to learn how to sit in my femininity, how to sit in my grace and my demure, and like figuring out that part of my femininity and be comfortable. Like, I've already paid the last bit of my bills for August, my rent and all of that, utilities, that stuff's taken care of. And I am recognizing and acknowledging the fact that like Spirit has given me this gift, because I'm so used to being, you know, get up, hurry, hurry, go, go, rush, rush, especially after living in Los Angeles for almost a decade, that like I literally do not know how to like sit in my, I don't know how to sit down. Like, I can't, like sitting back like this, like I'm just like, but I should be doing something. And that's the masculine part of you that feels that way. Like, divine feminine is like, girl, if we get to play makeup all day and we get to sit here and watch Netflix and we get to read and we get to do whatever we want and get paid for that, girl, sit down. Pass me the ice cream, okay? So learning how to be more open to having peace and having free time to do what I want and still be provided for. That's what I think is the beautiful part, is like I'm still being taken care of. And I'm really just using this time to exist. And that is a beautiful thing that like I think that I took for granted before, that I'm really trying to do a better job of learning how to be more appreciative of. But guys, I don't want to give you too much, so I'm not going to go into everything. If you did enjoy this video though, actually leave a comment below. Like, if you're one of those women that is in the same space that I'm in, to where like you're used to being in your masculine energy and you're tired of it and you really want to be, you know, take that journey into your femininity and learn how to receive, how to magnetize things, how to increase your feminine energy, comment below, sis. Like, let me know things that you're doing to increase your feminine energy, or if you'd like me to make a part 2 to this, comment that below as well. Like, I'd love to continue to show you what I'm doing on my journey, and also like take the journey with you and see if you guys can notice that like I'm transforming, or like what's happening to me and for me and with me, you know? All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, but thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd love to have you be a part of my divine tribe, so make sure you click that subscribe button below so you always get notified when I drop new content. I drop new content every week, whether that be tarot readings, videos like this, vlogs. I will be going on my digital nomad journey very soon, and I'm so excited to share that with you all as well. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I am going to get out of here, but remember, love yourself, love others, and until next time, feel free to sip on this. Peace.